All right, so we're on 8. Means we can use the Doff and... Welcome back, crew. Today we're into the OP14 format and we're checking out this leader here. Doffy is one of my all-time favorite villains in One Piece. His backstory is quite interesting. He's quite the interesting character, and I feel like he is just, in terms of the lore, he's just a representation of the problems that the Celestial Dragons have created. And I really love that, the element of him being a puppet versus a puppet master. I don't know, there's just something about him that I really, really like. And I really enjoy the way the game has captured Doffy. First, I loved him in OP01 with the blue Doffy leader. Had a lot of fun with that leader. I did play it for some time before it got really popular. Once it started to get meta, I don't know, I tended to shy away from those meta decks. There's just something when everyone else is playing it, turns me off a bit. This might happen to this leader as well, because this leader is a very strong leader in OP14. So over in the East, this one has made a bit of an impact. It's certainly in the top 3 decks that have come out. Very strong, and by no surprise. So if you don't know the leader effect, here is what it is. On your opponent's attack, once per turn, Don -1. Lots of Don minusing in this deck. Select your leader or one of your Doffy pirates type characters. Change the target of this attack to the selected card. This is why the deck is so cool, and the deck is centered around this leader. And I guess one of the downsides of this deck is you're fixed to having Doffy pirates, right? If it doesn't have the Doffy pirates in the name, you can't use this effect, and then it's not as worth it. So there are some really cool cards, like you look at some of the cards coming out. Let's just even have a look at, say, Hawkins. Yeah, Hawkins is a yellow card that I'm talking about. The 4 cost, when you KO that card, the opponent loses a life. You know, if that was a Doffy, you could send the attack into that and, you know, get that effect. But that is not a Doffy pirate. It is also not a purple card. So we can't run that in our deck. And that is the other limitation of this. There's so many good Doffy pirates out there, but we are restricted to just purple. So quite limited. Fortunately, there are a lot of purple Doffy pirates, thanks to the Sugar leader has brought out a lot, and the previous green-purple Doffy. So what are we trying to do with this deck? This deck is a very interesting deck, and it's kind of that 2 step forwards, 1 step back kind of scenario with this Don, because we are constantly ramping with our effects and negging with our effects, and a lot of the time we're negging and ramping with the one effect. So let's take, for instance, where is our Baby 5? Baby 5 is a classic example, and this is a really, really good card for the deck. We have on play up to 1 Don card from your Don deck and set it as active. So we play this 4 cost, we get a Don, we're ramping a Don. On KO, Don -1, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. So we gain a Don from playing it down. We lose a Don from using this effect, but we gain a life. That is a very, very strong, I think this is one of the strongest cards in the deck. Negging 1 for a life is one of the cheapest costs that I've seen for it. It is on KO, so this is a hard one for any other leader to achieve. However, with our Doffy, what we're doing here is opponent goes to attack us and we go, you know that 12k swing you're doing into face? Well, how about you do it into Baby 5 anyway? No, she's not rested, doesn't even matter. The attack is now going to Baby 5. She chooses not to block it. She takes the hit, you neg a Don, you gain a life from that attack. You did have to neg one from your Doffy and one from the baby 5, so you are down 2 from that. You gained 1 here, so that's not too bad. And if you combo this with other effects, say like the treble here, treble has, it's a 2k as well. On opponent's turn, once per turn, the effect can be activated when a Don card on your field is returned to your Don deck. Once per turn though. We are easily able to do that, so we can now use our leader effect for free. So effectively, if we have treble out, we can use the baby 5 for, it's basically free, right? You ramped a Don and you're just taking that back later on. So it is a really interesting concept because depending on when you ramp and when you use the effect means that you'll have an extra card, play something out, and then go backwards from there. But we can ramp really fast forward. If we throw out this Doffy here, we also, if we have one active on our opponent's turn, we can use an active Don, rest it, and then gain an active Don. So effectively, if you have this out and the treble out, which, you know, you play the Doffy, you get to play a 5 cost anyway, then all of a sudden, now our baby 5 is free and we're able to progress forward. So it is sort of comboing with these negative Don and ramping situation, but you can do a lot of cool things here. So let's go through some of the cards. We've got this Sugar is a searcher. She is the on-play, not an on-play searcher. She's an activate main resting searcher. So she costs 2 to get the effect, but you're able to constantly go for that effect. And if you do choose to neg a Don, you can protect this Sugar early on in the game if you need. We have another searcher here, the Dellinger. Dellinger doesn't search on play, he searches on KO. So to get the effect, you just have to use your leader ability on this Dellinger. It's a bit of a downside because you don't want to lose the Don early, you don't want to lose that Don momentum early in the game. But if you do get this card KO'd, you get the benefit. So this does happen pretty early in the game. I would recommend sort of waiting till you're on your 5 Don turn and then using these effects. All right. Now, she's in here mostly as a 2k, but she does have a pretty cool effect anyway. When opponent attacks, this is an older card. When opponent attacks, you may rest 2 of your Don. So only resting, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or lower. 4 or lower is really good. Think, just, you know, if you're thinking about Eam and Walkuri, you're thinking about the blue Marco. These are ones that this card here can rest down if you have to play into that game. Otherwise, it is there as a 2k. That's primarily what it's in the deck for. It's just got more utility than other 2Ks, so that's why I've gone with 4 of these. Viola is a blocker. It does have a Don minus effect, but it's sort of not the same. We don't really need to, the good thing is we don't need to use our leader ability to send it into Viola because she is a blocker. She's got the on KO and blocker, which is deadly combination. So because it's so easy to fulfill, the effect isn't as good. We lose a Don to grab a event card from our trash. And has to be a purple event card, not a problem for our deck. And our leader is Doffy, so it does hit the Donquiote Pirates archetype here, and we can draw. So we are a deck that does like to play with the events. I feel like all Doffy decks like the events, and including the Sugar, they're all sort of centered around that theme. This is why we've got 2 of the Rosinantes in here. Restands 2 Don, so we can use 2 Don events really effectively. Because we're able to get 2 Don up at the end of our turn quite easily, this one's not too bad. We play this, we grab a event here, we get to play it out, And utilizing things like this, it's really cheap and effective. We'll go through these events very shortly. We have our other sugar here. This sugar here is another really good card. On play, you get to ramp a Don active. On KO, if your opponent has 6 or more Don cards on their field, play 1 Doffy Pirate character with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So not playing rested, playing active, really, really strong card. You go second, you play this card, you can effectively ramp into something stronger on your next turn. Really good card. This is a 4 of in the deck. Baby 5 we talked about. Life gain. This card is a great card. I'm usually not playing the sugar because I'm finding the baby 5 and I'm playing baby 5 over the sugar. We got Virgo here. I've only got it as a 2 of. It is a very strong card. I tend not to play it. Maybe that's just because I don't have enough experience with the deck yet. What it can do is very strong. It's just we got so many cards in this 4-5 slot range that it's competing. It is competing in the deck, and by the time we get to our higher end, we are playing higher end cards, and this one's getting forgotten about. But let's see what it does. Once per turn, if your Donquiote Pirates type character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may return 1 Don card from your field to your Don deck instead. Really good card for protecting. Means they can't red rock our big guys if this is down on the field. So this is something we do want to consider when playing up against these blue decks. So yeah, just protects them. And you think about this, you return a Don, no worries, treble protects it, or gets that Don back. You can have your Don back, and you can have your cake and eat it too with this card. And it's got the when attacking effect, -1 Don, give one of your opponent's characters -2000 power for the turn. Not too bad just for getting over larger characters, but primarily it's in here for that once per turn effect, and it's a 7k body, so really strong. Treble we talked about, really good for making sure you don't go too low on your Don. Now Monet here, Monet is the ramp queen. She ramps like no other. On play, if your leader is the Doffy type, add 1 Don card from your Don deck and set it as active. So we get an active Don when we play this down. Really good card for that reason. On KO though, draw 2 cards, trash 1 card from your hand. Okay, so we get draw, we get card draw as well, and 1 cycle. And then add 2 Don cards from your Don deck and rest it. What? She's ramping 3. She's ramping 3, and you get draw with the cycle. This is some powerful stuff right here. This is the card. This is a really, really strong card, and it's got 1k counter on it as well. Like, you couldn't ask for more here. Really good. It's a 5 cost, so the ramp is a bit rough at the 5 cost level. Like, if you're thinking about it, you're on 5 Don, you play it, you're at 6. You can then use the effect on that turn. You neg 1, right? You don't have treble out at this 5 cost level because you've ramped and you didn't get to play him last turn. So you do the neg Don. You probably use the leader effect here on this. So you're bringing yourself up to, or down to 4 and then up to 6, and you're getting 2 cards. So, I'm sorry, you're on 6 because you ramped. You're bringing it down to 5, then you're bringing it up to 7. So on your next turn, you're on 9 Don. Didn't make a whole lot of difference to ramp at that stage because you've got no 9 on your curve here. But yeah, really strong if you were to say neg 2 in 1 turn. Anyway, really, really good card as a whole. The card draw alone is worth it, and you do have those ramp options available to you. Next, this 8 cost is so good. So good. Can't stress this enough. Being able to get 2 characters out with this effect play this out, get another character out, get 2 strong characters on the board in one turn is a really strong effect in this game. And, you know, you've got so many 5-cost characters, to choose from, which are going to be strong. Even going for these 4s here. These 4s are also really good. So you're always going to have an option when you find this card. All right, now let's go into our 10 costs here. The 10 costs on play, Don -3. Now, -3 is a huge cost. It is a huge cost because you want to be able to chain this effect. And you can't chain this effect unless you've got a treble out or you've already got this out. You need to have one of these out in order for this to work. And if you do use your leader effect on the next turn, which you kind of need to, you actually need to have both of these out or 2 of these out in that turn in order for this to happen. And this is actually quite hard to do, to get the treble, like say 2 trebles out before using this. So this is sort of a card that you're not going to use on curve, generally speaking. Not for its second ability anyway. Maybe for its first, but not its second. If you use it for its first, so what it does is, for that -3, your leader's a Doffy, yes. KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less. 8 is a huge number. It can, like, if you're playing this sort of on curve, then you can take out something that they dropped an 8 on curve. Really, really strong. Second effect is up to 3 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. This is a game-winning move, right? Think about Eam. Now, Eam is still stuck. He is just a recurring nightmare for me, but I cannot get him out of my head. Anyway, you think about Eam and you think about the blockers that they run. This locks down blockers. So blockers to block need to rest themselves. If they can't rest themselves, they can't block. So this stops blockers. It also stops attackers. Such a good card. And if you chain this one after the next, you're locking down the board while establishing these 10k characters. Really, really strong. As I said, hard to do on curve, but if you chain these, if you get 2 down, like if you've played, so you've got, say, a Doffy and a treble, and then you drop 2 of these, then you've got some strength on the board, and that is game winning right there. Lastly, we've got our offense. Now, Doffy is a very defensive character in his nature. We can use the leader ability to send to our characters to get these cool effects, but we can also protect our characters and take the hit. Sort of like the Rosinante leader. I really love this. And anyway, what we can do, what we've got here in our arsenal, we're using Divine Departure. Now, Divine Departure, we can use the main effect. The main effect does -8 from a character, so this is really good when we are up against something like a sorry, I was going to say Marco, an ace, red blue ace. When they have the blocker Newgate out, we can -8 from that. Now it's a 4. Now when we're attacking, they can't really block it unless they want to lose that big body. That's great. Great for us. It is one of these 0 cost cards which you trash one and get 3,000 power. So it's another one of these counter cards, but I feel like having this main effect attached to it, this main effect is really strong. So it's why it's made the deck. It gives us the 3,000 power, but it also can be a very strong main card. We have this one here. We're not really using the main effect for Everwhite, but we are using the counter. Gives our leader plus 3,000 power. Do note it says leader, not leader or character. I've made this mistake countless times on the sim. Hopefully, soon, I don't make that mistake again. Last one's Bullet String. Bullet String is really, really strong. It costs us a bit. It costs 2, but that 2's no problem for us. In fact, I love this card so much, I would pay this 2 any day. We have, on this one, we gain 2,000 for a battle, plus we gain 2,000 for a turn. 2,000, so it's, you know, blocking 4k. You'd expect it to block 4k for the cost of 2, but one of those 2,000 is remainder for the turn, bumping our Doffy up to a 7 as a leader on the opponent's turn. This is really strong and so easy to accomplish, and we can do it for recurring turns with a blocker card, mind you. So we can block, right? Picture this. You've got a one card in life. You've got a blocker. This is your setup. Oh no, I've got 1 card in life. How am I going to survive? I will drop a Viola. I will drop a baby 5. That's 7 cards. You know, throw 1 onto Doffy, attack, right? Their turn. Okay, I'm on my 10 Don. What do I do here? I get attacked. I block with Viola. I neg a Don. I pick up one of these from my trash. Awesome. They attack again. I put this onto Doffy. Now he's a 7, and I block that attack. They add Don to attack into me again. I go, okay, I'm going to take it because I'm feeling pretty weak. They throw all their Don on. No, they don't. They split with the last 2. Okay, I send it in 1 onto this baby 5. Baby 5 gains a life. They attack again. I take that then last life. I'm defending so much with so little. I can set this up so easily. Really, really strong. And then we can just go in again, right? Such a defensive deck, and it's got high offensive capabilities. Just a really, really strong package overall. Really like what it's doing. Let's jump into a game. I've just got one lined up. Let's jump into a game and see how this deck rolls. We got Doffy into Nami. And they're going second, so we got first. I think I'm just going to keep this. I would prefer Dellinger over Sugar going first, but I mean, either or. I really don't want to use my neg ability on my turn 1. I've done it before, not here, sorry, in between turn 2 and turn 3. But I have done it. I'd rather get to that 5 Don stage first. So this isn't bad. This one can't attack into us freely. I think this is good overall. So we're going to attack here, use 1 Don with this effect, play this out, and use the other Don. So we're doing 2 searches. So replenishing our hand from these cards, and they won't easily be able to take it down. So let's grab, I guess, the Dellinger. I mean, this is good ramp. We could use that for next turn. And 8 cost. 8 cost is pretty goated. Let's this is also a really good card for us, but let's grab the 8 cost. So I'll probably use this next turn, gives us some ramp. We can also send an attack into this to KO to get more ramp. Okay, so they are going that route. I think we will defend it here. No blocker, we'll just use one of these rosies. And that way we get to keep it, get a little bit more value out of it. They're going to take 1 down. Yeah, look at that. Extra Don just to take down a Sugar. It's wild. And 2 left, not sure what they can do with this. Okay. They do get card draw from that. So not a bad use of Zeus. All right, we're on 5. So let's do some ramp here. So drop this down. We gain an active one. And then we can throw this in at our Nami here. All right. End turn. So they're using the EBO3 cards in this, I just realized. So I'm sticking with just the OP14 meta. Unfortunately, we can't have just the OP14 meta on the sim as of recording. But nevertheless, I think this is still going to be a good test. This Nami card is absolutely busted. I love it busted, kind of. Not it's going to break the game like Eam busted. Yeah, really big fan of this card. So on play, you know, we lose a life and just so good. It's just so good. I think I'm just going to take this. I'm not going to use my effect just yet. All right, so we're on 8. Means we can use the Doff and we'll go into this Rosie. Gives us a bullet string. I think this is just some strong play here. So I'm going to attack low, see if they use the effect. They can use it to become a 2k, plus 2k, because they have the Don attached. And they do that, just wiping away what we can do with this one here. Let's play the Doffy anyway, use card action. We're going to drop down this. Oh, sorry, we need to neg a Don. Drop down the Rosie and we trash a card. Do we want to trash a card? I don't think we do. I think we just leave it like this. End turn, restand 2. And as I said, we can bullet string at any time now because of this Rosie. So they probably want to play something like a Kuma or something like that. Let's use this effect. And we won't use... We're on 8. Yeah, we're just going to do this here. No blocker, sorry. There we go. Return 1 Don. Choose our leader. Yeah, probably didn't need the +4 on that one, but I'm bumping back this. That's fine. We'll just play it out again next turn. All right, what are they going to do here? Getting a bit glitchy here, really. There we are. So ruined our hand a little bit. I think we got 9 Dons, so I might drop this one down, then drop this one down. And just attack 5 here. And I should still have 1 at the end of all of this too, which is good because I can use Doffy effect. I can send 1 into, say, baby 5 and then still use Doffy effect, which is really, really good. All right, waiting for Nami here. Doesn't have many in hand, so taking it, and they didn't attach Don this turn. So they're going to take another hit. That's what they're going to do. We're going to get them down one more here. There we go. Play this one down. Yeah, I don't know why this is so glitchy right now. So glitchy. What is happening? We don't want that. We just want to deploy this. Game 1 active. We got all our Don now. I'm going to play this one here down. We could grab the... I mean, I could do this and get a bullet string. Play that game again. Now, we just do this and end turn. So 1 up for bullet string, sorry, for Ever White. So we can still gain 3000 power. We have this one here, so I do want to send an attack into this, and we'll get some Don back from that anyway. What we want to do is just protect this Doffy. If we protect this Doffy, we are setting them up to lose that last life. I think right now, if they're playing the EBO3 stuff, maybe they've got a Robin. If they have the Robin, that's going to be a very strong play. They're going to turn this into 2 life, and that'd easily save them. It's certainly the play I'd be going for. I think that Robin was a 7 cost from memory. So it would leave them, they need 1 here. They've got 2 left over. What are they going to do? Big decision turn for the Nami player right now. And, you know, if it wasn't for the pudding, I think we would have even had a stronger turn last turn. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise because it did allow us to attack in, take those 2 life. And oh, okay. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff here. They're not going to try and push for game. Like they could throw. Interesting. We're going to do this effect. I'm going to return a Don. Send it into this. Use then this effect. Ooh, what is going on here? All right, use card action. So we got the Don back and not blocking. Resolve that. We're going to return a Don to gain a life. Now on their next attack, we can use the Doffy effect to gain a card. And we are just going to take that hit. This is fine. No blocker. Going to use a 2k here. 4 down. There's a blocker. That blocker will help. The blocker will help. Will it? Will it help? I think I want to use this for the bullet string. So I'm going to save 3, 2, 2, 2, 7, save 7. Do we really want to save 7? Maybe I'll just do 7, 7 here. I'll start with the leader here. See if I actually want to go in here. We really need to do 7 because I'll just discard 1 here. And then there are 7k. I don't think we have a chance to take him this turn. But we can take a couple of cards. Possibly take this card. Possibly. because 7 is still one blank card and a 1k. If I do another one of that, it's another 1k, and then I can hit in with the Doffy, which is 2 more cards. So they'll have to block 1, and they may not want to use another K, or they do. They use a 2K. Even better, even better. So at this stage, me swinging with the Doffy, it just gets rid of this card, and I destroy this. Is it worth it? Yeah, we just got to do it. We've got to do it. So they get their 2 cards. I'm going to throw this one down. And when we block, we can pull back Bullet String. So we really want to, I mean, we only get this once per turn. So if they send 5 into this, we just need to block it. I think they'll send 6 into this if they're going to send anything into this. Ooh, Doffy gone. Are they going to attack this one? All right, they're attacking this one. We're just going to not do that. We're going to block, resolve, use card action, neg 1 Don, grab the Bullet String, use card action to get a Don back here. Five into this one. Interesting. So no blocker. Gonna 1k out of that. 6. No blocker. Going to use one of these on this card here. No, we're not, because it only works on the leader. I don't know how many times I've done this. Don't know how many times I've done this. All right. We will use 2 cards then. And then we're going to use the leader effect, send this one into us here. And I mean, there's no effect on that, but we can split here. We can split and possibly take it. We took a lot last turn. They did draw the 2. So I feel as though they had 2 blank cards. They drew the 2, 1 for the turn and 1 from that effect. If they've got like 3k encounter and a blank, then we should be able to get through. See what happens here. If they take, we could do 11. Okay. Ooh, okay. And a trigger. So 7, 9, 11, 1. Or all 1Ks. Okay. So at this point here, we can possibly win. What we need to calculate is, can we defend ourselves next turn? They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks at our base level. This can easily get there as well. I think 5 attacks, a likely scenario. Defend 1, we can use our effect. We can become a bit bigger. maybe block 1. I don't think we can get past this, so I think we actually just need to go for it. I think they've probably got enough to get to 11. Let's have a look. All right, so they didn't have enough. That was a good call. It wasn't too risky. The only thing was, if I could easily survive that many attacks, I'd wait a turn. Definitely wait a turn. But because I couldn't, I just need to go for it, and we put ourselves into a position. It was actually the turn before. Remember when they had one of these up? They had no counter left. They had to discard a Hiyori in order to block a 1k when they only needed 1k encounter. And that was a very telling sign that they didn't have much left. So the only problem I saw was when we killed this thing, they drew 2 cards, then they drew another one for turn, then they drew one from our attack. So there was 4 cards, which I didn't know about. And if they were all 1Ks, if there was any 2Ks in that lot, then I could have been in trouble. I had a feeling that this card was still remaining and was a 0. Didn't know what it was. And we were just lucky that they got some bricks. I also did consider perhaps they drew one of these cards and had to play it, losing one of the potential counters and having two blank ones in hand. And if they had 2 blank ones in hand, then we were probably safe. So it was, what we just did there, that was a no-brainer call. That is exactly what you should do. If you could have survived for the next turn, then that would have been a risky move. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, this is Doffy. That was Doffy into Nami. This deck is a lot of fun. I really do like the way it plays. It's a big thinking deck. And I am a big fan of those types of decks. It's when to play this Neg Don move. And I do like that the Neg Don doesn't hurt Doffy too much. And it's a balance of how do I use that effect to gain Don and how do I use it to come back down and get that strong effect when to play these things out. It does take, I think, a lot of finessing. I certainly aren't there yet, but looking at the OP14 format, this is a deck I do have my eye on. So we might see more of this on the channel. If you do want to see more Doffy, let me know in the comments. And until next time, look after yourselves and look after your decks.